All right, let's dive into something interesting today. The CWT Training Academy. Now, I know what you might be thinking, another training academy.
Ugh.
But this one's different. We're talking water, environmental stuff, safety, A&D, even career development, all in one place. Kind of like a one-stop shop to level up in all those fields, you know?
Yeah, and what really catches my eye is, how they talk about education. Right on their About Us page it is, they call it a driver of change. Like they're not just about getting you a certificate, they're aiming for something bigger.
Okay, so let's break this down. We've got 4 learning centers here. Water, environmental, safety, and career development. What's that tell us about their approach?
Well, it suggests to me that they get it. These fields, they're all connected, right? You can't really manage water well if you don't understand the environmental rules or safety protocols. And career skills, well, those are essential for everyone, no matter what your job is.
So it's not just about like being a specialist in one thing, but seeing the whole picture, right? And speaking of options, they offer a ton of ways to learn. Live classes, virtual sessions, on-demand courses, even hybrid formats. Is that like normal for this kind of training?
It's not common, that's for sure. Most programs are pretty, well, rigid. This level of flexibility, it tells me they understand that people learn differently, right? And we've all got different schedules and stuff, making it easier for folks to actually, do the training.
Yeah, and it gets even like more interesting. They don't just do courses. They do program coordination, event support. They'll even produce videos for you, help create outreach materials too, almost like a full service learning partner.
Exactly. They're helping build a culture of learning, not just selling courses, right? Like it's not just giving you the tools, it's showing you how to build the whole darn toolbox.
Okay, I got to ask about this. Preventing unauthorized discharge through learning and education. I mean, catchy acronym, right? But is that all it is, branding? Or is there something, more to it?
Yeah.
It's definitely different. Peterly's not just about stopping spills. It's about like using education to actually change how people behave, build that sense of responsibility. And they've got materials, resources, even custom solutions. Help organizations actually use these Peterly ideas.
So it's a proactive way to protect the environment, using education to make it happen.
Precisely. And they're not just talking about it. They're out there looking for new trainers, new affiliates.
Yeah, I saw that whole section on their website about expanding their network.
Yeah.
What kind of people? Like, what are they looking for, do you think?
I'd say they want folks who are passionate about this stuff, obviously. Good communicators committed to that whole education for change idea, building a community of, like, experts who are, trying to make a difference.
Sounds like the CWT Training Academy is more than just a place to take classes, huh? It's more like a hub for professional development, maybe even a catalyst for change, a resource for everyone, organizations and the individuals.
I think so, yeah. What's really impressive is they do all this while still offering so many ways to learn and still keeping it accessible, which isn't easy. Seems like they figured out how to make high-quality training both, engaging.
Okay, so we've established they're doing things differently, but let's get specific here. What exactly are these learning centers all about? What can someone actually expect to gain from them?
Well, let's start with the Water Learning Center. It's not like just basic water treatment stuff. They get into, stormwater management, erosion and sediment control, even industrial pretreatment. Pretty comprehensive.
It's true. You kind of forget how many different aspects of water there are, right? And how much we rely on it, from drinking water to industrial use. It's got to be managed carefully. It sounds like they're prepping people for all those complicated challenges.
Oh, yeah. And they don't shy away from hands-on stuff either. They've got workshops where, you can actually get your hands dirty, learn practical skills you can use right away.
So Water Learning Center, all about the nuts and bolts of water management. What about the Environmental Learning Center then? What makes that one different?
Well, compliance is a biggie there. They offer training on, all the environmental regulations, which are always changing, of course. The Clean Water Act, Endangered Species Act, all that. Helps professionals keep their organizations, on the right side of the law, avoid those big fines.
Yeah, for sure. Especially as those regs get more and more complex. But it's not just about checking boxes, right? There's got to be more to it than just compliance.
Right. It's about being proactive. Environmental stewardship, that's the idea. Training on sustainability practices, audits, pollution prevention, It's about going beyond the minimum, actively working to minimize your impact.
So they're helping shift from reactive to proactive. Big difference there. Okay, let's talk about the Safety Learning Center. Considering a lot of water and environmental jobs, well, this one seems pretty critical.
No doubt. I mean, These jobs, often you're working with hazardous materials or in, potentially risky places. The academy, they seem to cover it all, everything from um, confined space entry, fall protection to like hazy Woper training and emergency response.
Building that safety culture from the ground up,
Uh,
giving people the skills to protect themselves, their coworkers, and the environment. Okay, last one. The Career Development Learning Center. Seems kind of, I don't know, out of place maybe, next to all these technical fields.
You might think so, but it actually makes a lot of sense. They're not just giving you technical skills, right? It's also those soft skills you need to like move up in your career, be a good leader,
Hmm.
communication, leadership itself, project management, even some entrepreneurship stuff.
So it's about like reaching your full potential, not just as a worker, but as a person. That's pretty holistic, huh? And all four centers, they've got those flexible learning options we talked about.
Yeah, it really shows they're serious about making this stuff accessible to, well, everyone. Not everyone can just take a week off work for training, right? So having the virtual, on-demand, hybrid stuff, it opens doors for folks who might not be able to do it otherwise.
And all those extra services, right? The
Yeah.
program coordination, outreach support, it all adds up to a pretty complete package. It's more than just courses. It's like they're a partner in your whole learning and development journey, you know?
Yeah, like they're saying, we're not just going to teach you, we're going to help you build something.
All right, we've covered a lot. Their approach to learning, what they offer, how flexible and accessible it is.
Yeah.
But I'm curious, what about their programs themselves? Like what makes them stand out, on a deeper level?
I think it's how they focus on using what you learn, real world application. It's not just theory, it's giving you the skills to actually like do the thing.
Yeah, they use a lot of, what do they call it? Hands-on exercises.
Yeah.
And simulations, case studies, stuff that connects the classroom to the real world, right?
Exactly. They're teaching you how to use those concepts, not just like memorizing them. And they're not afraid to use tech to make learning, more fun and effective.
Yeah, I've seen that. Their online courses, they've got virtual labs and simulations and stuff.
Yeah.
It's not just those boring old PowerPoints anymore.
They're really trying to make online learning, well, as good as being there, right? And those hybrid options, it's like you get the best of both. Convenient, but you still get that hands-on experience.
And we can't forget about how they support organizations too. It's not just about the individual learner, right? They're helping companies build a whole culture of learning and development.
It's a really holistic approach. Help with training programs, coordinating events, even creating those outreach materials, like having like a learning and development partner right there with you.
So it's not just like checking off boxes. It's about actually making a change
Right.
for the organization and the people in it.
Yeah, exactly. They're helping build that continuous improvement thing where learning's just like a normal part of what you do, empowering people, helping organizations reach their, full potential, all that.
It's kind of inspiring, honestly, seeing an organization so focused on making a difference in these important fields. They're not just training; they're shaping the future of water, environment, safety, all of it.
And doing it in a way that anyone can access, that's also engaging, right? They've made learning fun, and that's not easy.
It's safe to say the CWT Training Academy is more than just a place to take some courses, like a hub for innovation, maybe a way to make change happen. Oh, a community of people who are really passionate about making a positive impact.
Couldn't agree more. If you're trying to, get ahead in your career, learn new things, or just help build a better future, I'd say check them out, the CWT Training Academy. They've got tons of resources and services to help you out.
That's a great takeaway for our listeners. And remember, learning, it never stops, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if you're just starting out or you're like a total pro. There's always something new to discover, new ways to grow.
Absolutely. And CWT Training Academy seems like a pretty great place to start that journey.
Well, on that note, I think that wraps up our deep dive for today. Thanks for joining us as we explored the CWT Training Academy. Hope you found it, informative and maybe even inspiring.
It was my pleasure. Until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and keep making a difference.